this is the start of my newest adventure. We're going to the Boso Hanto for 3 days of cycling. Starting off, I'm going to head to Tachikawa because I got an appointment there I have to meet first. And then after that, we're going to go along Tama River and to Jonanjima, where we'll spend the night. So I'm done with my errand here in Tachikawa. So I'm going to set off for the Tama River. I'm going to follow that till I get to around Roku Godote, something like that. And from there, head up north towards Jonanjima. So let's get on the road. Here's the moderately famous Wise Road bicycle shop in Kunitachi, right next to the Tama River. It's known for allowing you to test ride their bicycles for 1,000 yen or 2,000 yen, and if you purchase a bicycle there, they knock that price off the cost of the bike. There's the campsite where I like to stop sometimes. It's really only for day camping. You're not supposed to spend the night, but nobody ever stops you, so it's all good. I kind of missed my turn. I was planning on going across the river to the Kanagawa side, but instead I stayed on the Tokyo side and went through Setagaya. The last time I went through Setagaya was many years ago, and the road conditions were really bad. But it seems like they've been doing some work. And now I'm just stopping, taking a break at this nice little park where Nogawa runs into the Tamagawa. And went look for a geocache, but didn't find that. So I'm ready to move on to the next point. Well, it's about 7:30, maybe a little bit later. I'm at Rokugo Dote as I intended. As you can see, it's already dark out, and I'm about 2 or 3K from the end of the trail in the ocean, but I think I'm going to leave the trail here and cut across the corner to Jonanjima, even though it's been really nice riding along the Tama cycling road. There was a pretty strong crosswind for quite a while. It's died down quite a bit now though. So it's about 9K or so to Jonanjima, so I'm gonna hit the mean streets of Tokyo and head off to the island and to my campground. Here I am at Jonanjima finally. 3 hours and 14 minutes of riding. I covered 53.6 kilometers. Actually, I didn't turn on the track recorder until I left Crazy Jam, so it's more like 60 kilometers today, and not too bad. Average speed is 16.6 kilometers. You can see there. I have to time this between passing overhead airplanes. They come by about every 5 to 10 minutes, and they're quite loud. They fly low enough so that you can actually see the markings on the plane. I'm making, as you can see, I've got some pasta here, and after I eat this and clean up, basically I'm gonna go to sleep. I don't think I'm gonna pitch a tent because I have to leave early tomorrow morning. I have to be in Nokoku at 7:50 to get on the train, so I'll probably be leaving here about 5:30. So I don't want a big hassle cleaning up and unpacking. So I think I'm all ready to call it a night. I've eaten dinner, I've washed up as best I can, I even washed my shirt, it's hanging up there on the handlebars to dry. Nice breeze coming off the ocean. It's still pretty warm out, so I don't need a tent. I'm just gonna chill out here for another hour or two. The planes are still flying over regularly, but I think after midnight they'll stop, I hope. And I've got an early start tomorrow, so I'm going to turn in for the night. Good morning. It's about a little bit after 5 in the morning. Had kind of a rough night last night.
think a boardwalk as long as this one, there'd be plenty of places for people who want to fish all night and talk to go somewhere else. But these three guys who just left behind where the camera is now decided that this was the spot they were going to fish all night, and they were not quiet fishermen. They had much to discuss. I suppose I could have moved, but it seemed like too much trouble to move all my gear just for a couple hours rest. So basically I listened to them talk all night. And of course, once they caught a fish, they got all excited. Anyway, my gear should only take 5-10 minutes, and then I'm going to go to Ryokoku, where the train leaves for Boso Hanto, and that's about 18 kilometers away. It should take me a little more than an hour maybe. Hopefully I'll find some place to get some breakfast around the station before I have to load up. So I'm going to start packing up. It's too early in the morning even for cats, or maybe especially for cats. This is Oifuto Koen. In a number of places along the park there's these large outdoor artwork. This one in particular is rooted in, it's actually in the canal, but at low tide you can walk out to that base. Right now the tide's high, so it's completely surrounded by water. We're riding through the glitzy neighborhood of Ginza. This time of the morning, it's still before 7 a.m. on a Sunday. Roads are pretty empty. I'm at Ryokoku Station, and just going to follow the arrows to the BB bicycle loading dock. Well, I made it. This is the BB base train, and I got my bike all loaded up with time to spare, and I even had time to go to McDonald's and get some takeout. So we step on the train. You can see how this bike is hanging from the rack. It's all tied down. It's a reserve car. And there's lots of room so far. This is a pretty plush train for a train that's intended to take bicycles and riders someplace. Actually, it turns out there was assigned seating or reserve seating, and I'm not in my reserve seat. Somebody else is. Apparently this is the lounge car.
I suppose if it's not crowded, like now, you can lay down and take a nap or watch videos about Chiba. So I got off the train at Awa Kamojima, and it's about 10 to 11 or 11 o'clock or so. The plan is that we're going to ride about 70 kilometers up the coast of the Boso Peninsula to an area called Kujukuri, which is a rather famous resort area. And there's a campground up there just about 5 or 6K inland that we're going to stay at. But first, we're going to go past SeaWorld, and there's a geocache there, so if it's not too difficult, we'll try and find that. Well, I found the geocache. It's right there. The cache is right across the street from the Kamogawa SeaWorld Resort. Ooh, look at that. That's a rather extraordinary landscape. Hopefully I'll be going around the outside and not over the top. We'll see. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. A coastline cruise. I got a little off course. Now I'm going through this windy, narrow, tricky, well, it's nothing more than a sidewalk really, to get back to the main road. Here we have Tent City. All the beach goers with their little day tents and awnings or whatever they're called. I just finished eating lunch. It's about maybe 12:30. Stopped at a 7-Eleven to pick up some bread and sandwich fixings. Problem is, there's no place out of the sun to eat. I looked for some shade large enough to cool me off. I just couldn't find any. So I finally decided that if I can't eat in a shady space, I will pick a place with a really nice view. And I found one. I climbed about 50 meters or so to a place that was overlooking the ocean and made my sandwiches there and ate. It was nice, but it's really, really hot. The hills aren't that bad. Just started to do some climbing. I went through about 4 tunnels, which was kind of unpleasant, but on the positive side, they were in the shade. And I had a really nice ride through Kamogawa, following the little trail road kind of thing that goes along the seaside. Unfortunately, it didn't last forever, and I eventually had to join the main road, which was kind of busy. I think everyone was going to the same place, which is along the beach. Now that I'm away from the beach, there's not that much traffic. At the 7-Eleven, I saw a row of motorcycles, and there was a gap in it, so I just parked my bike alongside those motorcycles, and it looked kind of funny. When I came out, I talked to the bikers, a friendly sort. They invited me to ride in Tochigi. It's a little bit off course. And they squirted me down with, I don't know, this stuff that's supposed to cool you off. And it worked. It worked pretty well for about 3-4 kilometers. Anyway, about 15 kilometers from station means I got about 50 to go. So I think I better get going. This tunnel has a little side tunnel for pedestrians and bicycles. It's really nice. Rather dark, but nice all the same. I should have ate my lunch here. The view is spectacular. I'm somewhere above Katsura, or in Katsura. So I've left Kamogawa. Still got about a whole bunch of kilometers ahead of me. I wish that were me swimming around in that nice, refreshing looking water. So it turns out I took a wrong turn and went about 3 or 4 kilometers out of my way, and about 200 meters of climbing I didn't have to do originally planned. During the hottest part of the day, on top of not having gotten much sleep the night before, just really wiped me out. As soon as I got back to the planned course, found the 7-Eleven, and I've just been chilling out here. They had a chair inside where I could sit down and enjoy the air conditioning and drink a Pocari Sweat, and just try to recover a little bit. I reevaluated my course. I think I'm going to deviate from what I originally planned and see if I can't find a shortcut. Hopefully knock off 5 kilometers or so. And it's 3 o'clock now, or a little bit after, and temperature is 34 degrees, which is hot. And the humidity is only 53, so that's lower than it was before, but it's still pretty high. I hope I can make it to the campground in a reasonable time. Going over a bridge. I think this is the last river we have to cross. We're at the 50 mark. Actually, past the 50K mark. Woohoo! It's a good choice taking that shortcut. Mobara and Ichinomiya, that's where we're headed. We're now in Kujukuri. Yeah. I hit a patch of really deep sand back there. It slowed me down to a dead stop in 3 meters. And I was going pretty fast. I'm riding along a river, going inland now. I believe the river maybe is a Mobata River. Up upstream here ways is the campsite I'm aiming for. Rice fields as far as the eye can see. Well, not exactly. So it's morning of the 3rd day. I spent the night at the Yasuragi campground. Actually, it was full up. But I talked to the Kandinin-san and he let me stay. Didn't have to pay anything, which was really nice. It actually was rented out, or I should say maybe reserved, for a Harley-Davidson motorcycle club. So they didn't want anyone else coming in, and that's what I was told originally. But then I talked to Kandinin, and the people who were actually here said, "Oh yeah, come, you can stay." So it was a very crowded campground, lots of kids running around screaming till fairly late at night. But I was pretty tired, so it didn't make any difference. And the people were really nice to me. They gave me 2 beers, so that was nice, which is probably not a good idea after all the liquids I lost yesterday. But anyway, I'm on my way. It's so hot now, even the cows need air conditioning. And boy, does it smell like that good old country time. I guess this is where my milk came from this morning. So it's about 8:30 in the morning, and I've been on the road a little less than an hour, gone about 12K, and it's already 31 degrees Celsius, and the humidity is 71%. It's really hot already, and to make matters worse, I'm riding into what feels like a headwind, so I'm not making great progress. I'm going to stop every hour or so to take a break and just try not to overdo it. It's a really tough ride today, I think. But on the bright side, we're already 1/10 through the planned route, so we'll just keep at it. So I just passed through a little town called Nagara. There's a dam here. I was hoping to see the lake and the dam, but haven't come across it yet. It might be a little further down the road. The temptation might be to say it as Niagara, but it's Nagara, and there's a dam, so the similarities are only name only, maybe. So the road here has been kind of up and down. I did take a little bit of a detour when I got off course and had to go up a little slope that I wasn't planning on, but it wasn't too bad. Didn't have to backtrack so much, maybe less than a few hundred meters. The reason why I stopped here, even though it's only 4 or 5 kilometers since I took a break at the Family Mart, is that I noticed there was a sign that said barbecue area, and I need to fill my water bottles. I've been going through the water like a camel at an oasis, and I thought a barbecue area would be a good place to get some water. Just down the hill here, there's a public swimming pool. You can probably hear the kids playing in the water. They're also playing the radio on loudspeaker real loud. And the cicadas have kicked in, so they're making a racket. Today the wind has been quite strong. Maybe the wind and the heat are today's biggest challenges. The hills so far have been steep but short, and under normal conditions I'd be able to go up them, but all things combined, when the going gets tough, I get off the bike and walk. I figure there's no shame in walking up the hills, especially when you're loaded. The goal today, or interim goal, was to get to Chiba City by noon. That's the 50K mark. And take a long air-conditioned lunch there. And wait out the hottest part of the day. Wait maybe until about 2 before I continue. I'm not sure I'm going to make it to Chiba by noon. It's still another 35K or so, and I've been taking lots of breaks for water. I don't want to overdo it, so I know I said before that I would take a break every hour or so, but well, maybe I'll do it more often. So that's the plan so far. I'm going to fill my water bottles and hit the road. I'm at the 30-kilometer mark. I'm actually approaching the outskirts of Chiba, I think. And I heard this clicking noise and I thought, oh no, I must have broken a spoke. But it turns out it wasn't a spoke, it was something else. Let me show you. I ran over a screw and it's poking into the tire and it was hitting against the fender, and that was making the clicking noise. So on one hand, I'm glad it's not a broken spoke. On the other hand, if I take that screw out, I think I'm going to lose, I've already lost all my air. So I got a patch on the tire. So much for making Chiba by noon. Well, I fixed the flat and ready to go back on the road. Although lost a lot of time, so I won't be getting into Chiba by noon, but that's okay. It's clouded up, so it's not quite as hot as it was before. This is the town of Funabashi, or maybe it's still Chiba. And this is a really nice bike path. If it were like this all the way home, I wouldn't mind, but I think all good things must come to an end. So I'm just barely inside Tokyo Prefecture. I crossed the Edo River and now I'm in Edo-ku. It's really windy. I just checked the weather. The wind speed's 11 miles per hour. That's pretty fast. And it's blowing from the south, so it doesn't really help me much as I'll be going mostly west from here. I'm about 56 kilometers, so I got about 45 to 50 left to go, but I feel like somehow it's going to get easier now that I'm in Tokyo. There's no reason to actually believe that, but that's what it feels like. Somewhere along the way I'm going to hit some more familiar streets, but for now this is completely new to me. Tokyo Skytree. It's 9:10 and I'm on the home stretch. Another 30 seconds and I'll be rolling in. Oh, I'm tired, but I did it.